Hello everyone, welcome to Module 5. Hey, I want to shoot this quick video because we're going to be introducing something new in the course, our case studies, and I want to kind of briefly go over that. Also, just the general flow of what we're doing in Module 5 so everybody's on track with what we're doing. I have noticed in the previous modules, some students were getting the problems and questions confused. In the back of the book or in the back of each chapter, there are individual problem sets and individual question sets. So be careful because sometimes we'll do problems, which are more math type oriented, and sometimes we'll do questions. So hopefully I'll make it pretty clear in the learning activities on which set that we're doing. Just make sure that you are differentiating and grabbing the correct set of problems or questions that we're doing for that given week. All right, well, let's take a look at what we're doing this week so everybody can be on track and hopefully I can answer some of your questions before you have them. So we're in Module 5. We're over the hump here, so we're coming down the backside of this course. And we're going to be doing the organizational costing and profit analysis. It's kind of interesting tools here that you'll have available. And again, remember, this course is not to make you accountants or financial gurus, it's to give you the fundamentals of what's happening behind the scenes. So you may never do CVP analysis, but you may be working with that analysis that's been given to you at some point. But having an understanding of what that is, I think will help you become a better healthcare leader, healthcare manager. So don't again when we go through it this week, try not to get too freaked out about that, but do your best and try to apply the principles, and you'll be just fine. All right, so let's move on. Some of the questions that will come up, our normal readings and presentations that we'll have in here. That's kind of the normal fare. Then also the learning activity. Let me remove my picture here. So the learning activity for this week, we are doing questions. So make sure you're doing the questions, okay? And when I say all, a lot of them have like A, B, C in there. So make sure that you're doing all of those, whatever the sub questions are below that. So uh, remember questions this week, not problems for chapter 5. And then also our first case study. This usually brings up some anxiety for folks. Here's what I want, and I've said to a lot of the feedback on your previous assignments or in the progress journals is that I am really looking for an attempt to apply the information that we've learned in this course. For this particular case study, you have learned a body of knowledge up to this point. I want to see how you are applying that body of knowledge up to this point. There are parts of that case study that you will not know how to address, and that is okay. We will hit those in later chapters, but there is enough there for you to work on, and I think have a very good uh, demonstrate what you have learned so far in the questions that you're going to be presented with the case study. So have fun with it. Pretend you are the accountant, you are in the finance department of the hospital system, the whatever, and how would you approach it? What would make sense? And again, taking these theories, these concepts, and pulling them back into the case study is what I'm going to be looking for. I'm also going to be looking for just kind of the general, where well constructed paragraphs that build to a point that makes sense with supporting structure and logical arguments. I'm going to be looking for that. So even though the answer may be totally wrong, if I see that there is a logical sequence in a paragraph leading up to a main point and it's well expressed, you're going to get full points. So keep that in mind. Um, so with the case study, I provided a PDF. You'll pull that up. It's on River Community Hospital. And then, so read the case study maybe a couple of times. Highlight some things that you might think are important little factoids as you read it. There's going to be all kinds of little factoids that are going to be in every other sentence within this case study. It's loaded with information. And then what you're going to do is you're going to answer 5 questions in one or more full paragraphs. So again, the 2 sentence answers, that's where you're going to get killed on points. Make sure you have robust answers, well thought out, that are logical, that are progressing towards main points and how you're supporting those points, those decisions that you're doing. So you're going to answer these 5 questions. Again, uh, There's going to be some information here you're not going to know how to treat. I don't expect you to Google it or to read advanced chapters in the textbook. Okay, if you do, great, absolutely fantastic. If you really want to, like, what does this particular thing mean? I haven't heard it yet. You can do that if you wish. But I'm not going to be grading on that. I'm really going to be looking for you pulling the information that we've learned up through week 5, module 5 into the case study. All right, so there you go. Answer those 4 questions. And again, apply good critical thinking, and everybody will do just fine. Here's the other important thing to remember. There's always a few students who hand it in at the end of the module. This is not due until the end of module 6. So you have 2 weeks to kind of massage this and think about it. Now, I'm not expecting the information that we learned in module 6 to be applied to this case study. You want to hand it in early, totally fine. But you do have 2 weeks to work on it. It is substantial points. It's our heaviest, one of our heaviest point items in the course, worth 125 points. So do put some time into it. That is why I've given you 2 weeks to complete this particular assignment. Okay, all right, so that's the case study. And then I think we just have we have our regular quiz. This one will be a little bit more long answer oriented, so don't be surprised when you pull that up. Okay, so I think we have only five questions this week, so a little bit more of the long answer. Again, fully formulated thoughts. If we do, I can't remember if there are some calculations in there, but if there are any calculations in there, make sure that you are showing your work on how you got to those calculations. And then we're going to end with another progress journal. Again, a great way for us to touch base. I think it's worked out really great in seeing how I'm doing, what might be confusing for you. I mean, this particular video was shot because of feedback I've received off of your progress journals that you wanted some more clarification on some of these items that we're having on a weekly basis. So I love them. They help me in servicing you better and making sure we're kind of meeting the objectives of the course. So it kind of forces that communication. So this week, kind of some simple questions, just how you're doing and what is kind of your muddiest point in accounting so far. We might bring in some information later on to, if I see a theme, maybe I've totally missed something, and if I see that all of you are very consistent about a certain muddy point, we might circle back and address that theme. So it's a great feedback mechanism for us, so please keep doing that great work that you're doing on the progress journals. All right, so that covers it for Module 5. Again, we are on the back side of this course. Everybody is doing excellent work, good effort in there. Remember to make sure that you have every assignment turned in. That's how students get C's and B's or worse, is they miss assignments. So I do accept late work. There is a small deduction on points. So if you think, oh, no reason to hand this in, I'm already, 5 days late on it. No, hand it in. There will be a haircut on points to be fair to the people that turned it in, but getting a C or a B on an assignment that's worth 25 points versus a 0, it's the zeros that kill. So, been doing this a long time. It's the zeros that kill students that bring those grades down to B, C, or D level. So make sure you hand in your work. More than happy to accept late work. If you have any questions, you know how to get in contact with me. All right, everybody have a great week. Thanks.